Listen. We got to give a shout out to these guys right here, okay? We got to give a shout out to these good folk, okay? Got to give a shout out to the McEastlands. We got to give a shout out to Mr. Frosty Beats, to B Chew, to Paul F, to Chris Joshua, to B Haas, to Cal, to Mark Taylor, and to DJ Dynamite Jammin' Wonder. Shout outs to y'all. You guys are our channel members. You guys are our supporters of this channel. And I appreciate you. So shout outs to you guys one more time. Welcome everybody to After Hours with your boy, Chris Reed. Welcome everybody to After Hours with your boy, Chris Reed. Now this is a new show that we're going to be putting together. You know what I'm saying? Next time we come through with this, it's going to be a lot more crispier than what it is, but featuring your boy, Chris Reed, and my wonderful wife, Tasia. She goes by Tay. We'll see if she wants me to put Tay or Tasia or not. But with that being said, I want to welcome you guys to the live stream, man. Oh, I gotta turn my sound effects back on. Welcome y'all to this live stream. Okay. Shout outs to you for joining. We're not gonna be in black and white, but this is just a part of our setup right now. Let me just go in here and fix this little situation. Tonight, I wanted to talk about something specific, and that specific thing that I wanted to talk about is this platform known as Even. If you've heard of Even before, put something in the chat and let me know you've heard of Even before. You're not here by accident. So I've been hearing really good things. There we go. There's our color. Bring our color into this situation. I feel like I need a glass of coffee or some hot chocolate or something as we get into our live stream here. Once again, just want to say shout out to the supporters, the channel members. If you would like to join the channel membership and be a part of the supporters section here, please hit that join button on our membership tab, and you will be able to join, and you will be able to be in a supporter of the channel, and you will be able to be a member of the channel. Waiting to see if anybody has actually heard of this actual show before. If anyone has actually heard of this channel before, of Even. We're going to be looking at Even a little closer tonight. And it's really caught my attention, and I even went so far as to sign up. That's right, I signed up for Even. I've been getting a lot of support from those that watch this channel and those that are a part of our live stream or have received help from Reason, via my channel. I got a lot of great feedback from you guys, and a lot of real good people encouraged me to put out a project, to put the music out. We've been making music, and I always just seem to just find other uses for my music. Like, I always seem to run into a different kind of use for my music. Just like tonight, I was listening to that track, Where Were You Tonight? That's definitely going to be the theme song for this show. That's definitely going to be the theme song for this show because it just fits so well. Where were you tonight? And you were here checking out After Hours with your boy Chris Reed Beats. And so I think that's just super exciting, just super dope to just have that, you know what I'm saying? To just have that vibe come through, you know what I'm saying? But I do want to check out, make sure you guys are doing well. And then I want to look at some of this. Concerning this platform named Even. Now, if you're not familiar with Even at all, Even is a platform for fans and for creators. It's a community that thrives on the direct connection between artists and their fans. And no, I'm not reading this from their website. Of course I am. Of course I'm reading it from their website. I first heard about Even from La Russell. La Russell is a artist out of Vallejo, California, and he put his project on Even, and it's kind of like a platform where you can have an exclusive run of your music on their platform. To say the least, or to just kind of get straight to the point, Even is one of those places that kind of was birthed out of the struggle of streaming. So you put your music on Spotify, iTunes, YouTube, you put it wherever you put it, and you don't actually get the money that your music is worth, or what you think it should be worth. You definitely don't get per stream what you think it should be worth. And of course, with Spotify coming out now with thresholds for plays for your music, you could have so many plays on your Spotify and then not reach the threshold, and now you don't receive the money for the actual plays that you got. And there's a whole conversation about streaming. There's a whole conversation about the use of Spotify and these streaming platforms that goes both ways. There are some benefits, there are some drawbacks, and it can be said about both sides, for the user and for the artist, and as well for the listeners. What even helps the artist to do is to provide them a place where people can pay for the art more what the artist feels like they should be paid, more what the artist feels like they should be compensated for their actual hard work, their talent, and their artistry. So you have the ability to set your price. You have the ability to let the listeners name their price, and that money goes directly to you. And I believe it is at a much faster rate than it would for streaming. So for those that are familiar with streaming, you get your money when they tell you that you get your money, and you get your money, how much ever money that they decide to give you. And there's a lot of things that comes when it comes down to money and your streaming that is not favorable for the artist. It's favorable for labels. It's favorable for the actual company, Spotify and these other places that stream music, but not necessarily favorable for the artist. And so with that, if you use Even, then the money that you make becomes readily available for you faster than it would if you were streaming. I don't have a ton of music on streaming, but I have a few songs. I have an album or two. And to just be honest with you, the streams are really low. I would not reach the Spotify threshold for any of the music that is out that I receive none of the music that I would receive a percentage of as a producer would I actually be able to receive or recoup from Spotify, because it doesn't reach the threshold. Now, that's a whole nother thing in itself in terms of catalog and how far back that catalog goes. But that's an understanding that I probably just realized today. When I look at my, I think it's DistroKid that I have, the money that goes into that DistroKid basically pays for the membership of DistroKid. I'm sorry, let me say that one more time. The money that I make on DistroKid, you know, whenever they collect the money from the streams that I do receive, that I receive partial, you know, I don't receive 100% because I'm not 100% creator of that. I'm just a music producer, so I have my percentage of those songs that I have my percentage of. The money that I receive from that pretty much pays for the subscription of DistroKid. I think right now, that's like $19.99. I'm saying that to say I'm not making a lot of money from that at all, right? Let me just make sure I give myself just a touch more gain. I don't want you guys to have to, you know, be struggling to hear me this evening. With that being said, I have not withdrawn money from that account since I've made it. Since I have made that account, I have never withdrawn money from it. I just said, okay, with what we're getting from it, it's an older album, older catalog. What we're getting from it, just let it build and or pay for the membership. Like, just let it kind of go. So with Even, especially today, if I was to release a project, which I plan to do, if they let me in to the secret society, because see, tonight we're going to talk about the entire breakdown of it, what it is, why it's important, if it's helpful, who is it helpful to, and some of the success stories from it. Right now, there's already a success story that's right on the top of my brain, on the tip of my tongue. And of course, we've already discussed LaRussell, and we can go in a little deeper about LaRussell and his success using the platform as well. So my experience with streaming is not made a lot of money from it. I don't have anything current or modern or anything from 2020 and up. So that would be my fault for, you know, not making any money from streaming. I can't say like I put an album out every year or I put a single out every week and I'm just not making money from streaming. No, this is just old music that lovers of the music probably enjoy it, and those that don't know it's there just don't know it's there. So that's my side of things. But it does tell a story about you know, how much you can make from streaming. There is a story there to be said if after all of these years where my numbers lie, right, and never touching the account and still not actually being able to do anything with it. I'll give you a comparison. For example, when I first started monetizing this YouTube channel, I didn't make enough money to actually pull money out from my AdSense account. So they have a pay threshold of $100. And it's been instituted, you know, nothing new. It's been instituted for a while, their pay threshold, you know. And the situation about it is it's $100. That's the minimum that you can set it at. You can actually set it higher. Whereas, you know, hey, don't send me any checks, don't send me any pay until I hit this threshold. You could do that, but you can't go any lower. You have to make at least $100. So when I hit my 4,000 watch time hours and my 1,000 subscribers, I immediately turned on my monetization because I wanted to see the fruit of my labor. And I even saw that there are these websites that let you track based on how many views you get on your YouTube channel, how much money you could roughly make. And I was excited about those websites because I was like, oh, wow, well, if I could be making that, we can keep this thing going. Sadly, I didn't make that. So my first couple months, I was below the threshold and didn't get paid. Now, the great thing about YouTube and their payout structure is you don't make, if you don't make your payout for January, whatever that number is rolls over to February. And if you still don't hit $100 in February, then that will roll over to March. And hopefully within 3 months or 2 months of your monetization, somewhere in there, you reach the threshold. Somewhere in there you reach the threshold. And then if that number ends up being above $100, then around the 21st of the month, you will receive your pay for how much ever you occurred, for how much ever time when you hit the threshold. Today, I can say by the blessing of God and by great channel members that I have here with me today, and people that watch and help support the channel, you know, not even just those that are channel members, but people that watch and come through very often and are in the chat room even right now. I've been able to reach that threshold of $100 quite often, actually, and that has been a blessing. We can say that. So I think about it in comparison, just to give a one-to-one comparison of the idea of this threshold. It's like working at something and not receiving your pay for it. That does not feel good, to say the least. That does not feel good. And those first couple months and some months in between the time from then and now, there have been times where it didn't reach that threshold. And it was just kind of like, well, YouTube still played ads on my videos. They play ads during my live streams. They played ads. They put banners up. You know, they still received their benefit from the advertisements, but I didn't receive the benefit from the advertisement. And my watchers had to suffer. You know, they're watching through ads or skipping ads or whatever. And I'm not actually receiving anything for that if I don't reach the payout threshold. And so my channel is rather small in comparison. I'm not really a good model for what it would look like if you wanted to like have your YouTube be your primary source of income. That's definitely not the case. It's more so like a semi-passive income as of right now. As long as I have something up for people to watch and there are great supporters like the channel members, then we are able to continue to do the YouTube and continue to work at building it to make it better and make it stronger. So in comparison, as I talk about Even, and I talk about the situation with Spotify and other streaming services, that kind of becomes the problem. Putting your art out, putting your hard work out, and not being properly compensated for it. So Even is working to fix this issue. So let's dive in a little bit and let's check out, a little bit about Even and their story. We can go straight to their Instagram in order to see it. Okay. So we're going to go ahead and head over here to our comment section. Let's check it out. All right. So it says, what is Even? Oh, let me see. This one. This is the one that I want right here. All right. So it says, how is Even different? All right, let's check it out. It says, Even empowers artists to sell their music directly to fans before it's available on streaming platforms. Fans have to buy the music before listening. Music should not be free. This is like a side note of what they're saying. This is their philosophy. Music should not be free. On Even, music and content are only available behind a paywall. Now, I can tell you as an avid listener to somebody like Joe Budden, for example, he has a Patreon, and when he puts some episodes behind a paywall purposely, that hurts, because I'm not currently a patron. But when he does that, you can't watch it. And I've heard a lot of people with the same sentiment. Like, it's like you feel like you're missing out on something. And that's important that you have that feeling, that urging, because the only way that you can satisfy it is by supporting, is by becoming a patron. Right? The Joe Budden podcast, completely free of ads, except for today, which I heard Joe Budden do an ad today on his podcast. I had never heard it before, but nonetheless, typically it's free and free to you, and Patreon becomes an added benefit. But when he puts it behind a paywall, now all of a sudden it's something to urge for, something that you're missing out on. And I think for a certain degree, that's how music should feel too. So for example, right now, I cannot purchase La Russell's first album from Even right now. The way that everybody else did, I can't purchase it from Even. I probably could stream it somewhere else or buy it somewhere else. But as far as Even is concerned, it's no longer available to you on their platform. But this idea of putting it behind a paywall creates its own scarcity, creates its own need and urge for you to actually go listen to it. You can't hear it unless you pay for it. So that's their model. Even provides an enhanced fan engagement. The community chat feature and virtual release parties on Even revolutionize the artist to fan communication. So that's dope. I haven't experienced it or seen it, but it is something that they offer on their platform. And if you have these exclusive opportunities, then that just adds, if you're a fan, right? If you are a fan of the person, if you're a fan of the artist, then this can only add to the experience of that release. Checkout experience made easy. Even has built the most seamless checkout experience in music that includes Apple Pay, Google Pay, Klarna, and Cash App. You have a lot of different options to purchase the music. I'll give them some credit if they have all of those availabilities. That is great. Apple iTunes, I think would still have them beat, because as long as you have an iPhone and you have a way to pay with that iPhone, then when you go to purchase the song or the album, it's just instant. It goes into your Apple account or whatever. So I think they might have them beat. But cool. So here is where it really gets good, is the comparisons that they do from their platform compared to other platform. A fan needs to stream an artist's music 20 times a day for a whole year for that artist to make $25 from that fan. Now let's just do some math real quick. Let's do some math real quick. We're talking about 20 times per day, and there's 365 days in a year. So that number is 7,300. If my phone will focus, which it probably won't. That number is 7,300. So in order for you to make $25, I have to listen to the song 7,300 times. And if I take that number and I divide that by 25, I get 292. So 7,300 times is the plays. And essentially we want to figure out how much money is that? Like $25. In order for you to make $25, they need to have streamed your music 7,300 times. So that's a lot of streaming, to say the least. At the very least, that's a lot of streaming for one fan to be able to generate the money. Whereas with Even, because it's behind a paywall, and because the person has the availability to pay more, pay less, pay what you ask them to pay what they want to pay, you could make that $25 from the fan the first time they go to purchase your music. And it's really an interesting concept, because albums is nothing new. It's like, you know, people been paying for CDs and paying for music a long time ago. If you want to buy the entire album, you can buy an entire album from iTunes, from Google Play, not streamed, but like you buy the album, you can download the album to your device. That's still available, but this platform just makes it more clear. Listen, this is going to the artist. You're a fan of the artist, it's going to the artist, right? As opposed to where sometimes it can be a little confusing, like with streaming, like with, especially like on iTunes, on Apple Music, sometimes it can be a little confusing in terms of if I hit download on an album and I buy an album from the iTunes store and download it to my phone, if I have no internet connection or I have no Apple Music subscription, what I bought in iTunes will still be on my phone. So that's not streamed. But I always wonder, after I give my $9.99 on iTunes, do they like keep track of how many times I play the music, or is that just the one album sale? And so even though it's being, you know, streamed from my phone because I purchased it, do I actually get that number? Do I get that count, right? So I think that the math is just not mathing, is what they said. The math is just not mathing, right? So this is one of the breakdowns that they showed about using Even. Okay, here's where it really breaks down. So it says La Russell on Even. Total revenue $148,000. $148,000. Total fans 6,751. Average sale price $22. So that means out of everybody that purchased a album, right? Out of everybody that purchased this album, some people paid more. This is how an average works. Some people had to pay more than $22, and some people paid around or less than $22. But when you put all those numbers together and you divide them by the number of total sales, you get $22 a sale. And that's pretty good, you know, considering. 91,000 streams on Even. So aside from whatever he made for an exact sale, he also made money from streams, right? So we got 91,000 streams on Even. The streaming equivalent of how much money he made, this is where it really makes sense. This is where it really comes to the forefront of the problem of streaming and the problem of using these other platforms, and I guess how even really helps the artist to take back some of that control and get compensated for their music. 42 million streams. Listen to that. 42 million streams. Just take a second and just look at that real quick. 42 million streams. In order for him to make $148,000 like he did on Even already in his pocket, in order for him to do that, he would have needed to stream 42 million times. And of course, they're not saying from what streaming service. But should it really matter which streaming service? Should any of the streaming services take that much in order for you to make that money? Should it really matter? Now, the way I look at it, the way I think about it, one of the things that I always have said, or always looked at and thought about when it came to, when it came to this side of things, one of the ways I always looked at it is a marketplace. You are taking advantage of a marketplace. It's as if you walked into a Gucci store and you said, Gucci, I make t-shirts too. Put my t-shirt on the rack next to your Gucci t-shirts. And just by proximity, because you are in the store with the Gucci t-shirt, someone who is searching for their favorite Gucci t-shirt might come across your t-shirt and buy your t-shirt. That's a very powerful marketplace to be in. That's a very powerful thing. Somebody who was not thinking about, your name brand shirt that you came out with, they weren't thinking about it, but because they saw it next to the shirt that they were trying to buy, now you have an opportunity to get eyes on your merchandise and possibly get a sale. That's how I always think about it when I think about streaming. Aside from that, you got to think about that whole idea, that whole concept of the marketplace. You did not lay concrete for that Gucci store. You did not pay for the electricity, for the lights in that Gucci store. You did not pay for the branding or the name or licensing for that Gucci store. Or you didn't pay for the history or the relationships for that Gucci store. You didn't pay for any of the things that goes into creating that store, that marketplace. You didn't really have anything to do with it. The only thing you had to do was pay your money for shipping to get your shirt into the Gucci store. I always think about it like this, because this is what's happening with streaming. We're not paying for the servers. We're not paying for everything that has to go into establishing the brand of Apple Music or the brand of Spotify. We have nothing to do with that. That is hard work and dedication that somebody else put into in order to be able to create that. At the same time, the artist has hard work and dedication too. The artist's art is worth something. So just because Gucci has the name and the building and the lighting and everything else around it does not mean my t-shirt, cloth, and time for me to put it together is worth less. I'm right there. So this is my little analogy when it comes to this Gucci store, but it's really similar to what's happening with the streaming. With streaming, you're paying for the marketplace. You're paying for what has been built and what has been established. The problem comes in is if you are competing against other brands and other kinds of clothing that, because they have a relationship with Gucci, suddenly their clothes get pushed to the front of the rack while your clothes gets pushed to the back of the store. Now that is where a problem comes in. And somebody will say, well, the reason why your stuff gets pushed back is, well, because people like the stuff that they already know. This brand is more established. This artist is more established. It just simply becomes this race of relationships and this race of cooperation between corporations. And if you are not of the corporation and you are not of the cooperation, then you will fall behind. And so I even like the name of Even. Even, it seems as though they are working to make things more fair by making things more even. Now, it's not to say very similar to like what Tidal did. Like even if you look at the numbers, Tidal, in comparison to the other streaming services, pays out their artists per stream much more than all of the other streaming services. It's not that is happening that's making it even or adjusting the scales. It's the fact that the fans are paying the artists what the artist feels like they should be paid and what the fans feel like they want to pay. It's different because this is the change, the switch that's happening between using Even. It's not to say they pay more for the stream. I don't know if it says anywhere, but we're going to keep looking at it. If they just pay more per stream. I did go in to look to see, because I signed up. I wanted to see what the process was to get my potential music on Even. I don't have any music on Even, but I wanted to see what the process was to get that music on Even. But let's just look a little bit into this more. So if you looked at the thumbnail, if you looked at the thumbnail, we have La Russell's album. It's a much older album. It's already been released. But not only do we have La Russell's album, but we had this gentleman's album as well. So it says an artist made $1,500 from 52 fans on Even yesterday. Okay, let's do some math real quick again. That's 28. That's an average price of 28. $1,500 divided by 52, that's 28. So on average, $28 per purchase is what happened from 52 fans on Even yesterday. Wait. Don't cheat me out. I want to see the rest of this. 1,500. Remember, this is the core crux of the issue. This is what we're fighting against. We're fighting against streaming. This is the core crux. $1,500 in revenue is equal to 419,871 streams. Remember how earlier we said if one fan, just one fan, streamed your album or streamed your song 20 times a day, it would take them a whole year to make you $25? And throughout that whole year, that would be 7,300 streams. We are very short from 419,000. Okay, we're very short from 419,000 when we're talking about 7,300. Okay, how many more multiples of that is that? 57 multiples. 57 times more is what you would need if you were doing it by 7,300, which is that one fan. Okay, so we are not playing an even game on an even playing field. When you think about how the numbers correlate with one another. And I guess that's it. And who do we have? Curtis King. My good brother, Curtis King. Shout outs to Curtis King. All day, every day. $1,500, 52 purchases made. And that's just within the release of the album. We're talking about one day. And my understanding about it is here, because this is the other part about it. Like somebody might say like that number is pretty low to have 52 purchases or something like that. But that's money in his pocket. That's not being divided or divvied up to somebody else. That's there. That's real. That's tangible. And you have This is people who are willing to make that purchase because they want to support you and support your art. The idea of Even, as they say, is it's not to replace streaming, because they still want you to put your music on streaming platforms afterward. It's not to replace streaming. It's to work alongside of it, essentially, to let them be a release or like a launch to your album. And that's what their fact page says. We'll get to it soon. But Curtis is able to make that money. And aside from streaming, like I told you earlier with my DistroKid, it's not immediate. It's not like you make the streams and make the money. It's like you get to pull out the money when they tell you your threshold is ready, when they tell you that your time is ready for you to pull the money out. So with Even, I'm assuming, because that's how they put it, that you make more money faster. The revolution will not be streamed by Curtis King. That's what he says. So with this really does bring a lot of good information in terms of, what it takes to actually make money with your music, and what Even is doing to make the difference. For LaRussell, he's able to make 6 figures with his project dropping, and those that purchased it. We saw how many thousands that it took for him to get that. We saw there's a breakdown somewhere as well in terms of, like, with those purchases, how many times someone paid more than what the album was listed for. Like, in other words, they paid him $1,000. They paid him $1,000 for one album, where other people was paying less than $5 for the same album. So when you think about that, it becomes this, the difference becomes if somebody wants to support you and they want to support you a little bit more than others, then they'll do it. I've had super chats on this channel for $3, $2. I've had super chats come in. People want to support the channel, $2, $3. I've had $20 come in, $25 come in. The day I saw $50 come into my live stream, I felt like I was finna have a heart attack. I was like, what are you doing? Like, I'm like, what are you doing? Like, what are you doing? And then guess what? Like, right after that, dropped another 50. You have the option, if you can afford it, if you want to support it, like if that's what's important to you, then you will do something like that. One of the things that I really love, I love watching games. Like I'm a gamer at heart, you know what I'm saying? If I could do more gaming, I would. And they have something called Awesome Games Done Quick and Summer Games Done Quick. And actually what it is it's a fight cancer. It's a prevent cancer, fight cancer, kind of like a fundraiser. And so these guys go on and they speed run games. They play games faster and better than any of us could ever play games. Like, one of my favorite games is Zelda. I play a ton of Zelda, but like something that would take me an hour to do, they can do in 10 minutes. Like, they just do it that fast. And because people like watching the show and they want to support, they send in their donations. And some people send in $1. Some people send in 5, 10. Some people send in 1,000. Some people send in 5,000. Some people send in 10,000. You never know who's going to be watching and what organization or what person that's involved is going to send in money to donate to that. Now, that's like a fundraiser and it's a donation, but it just blows my mind that, if you did not do it, if you did not give someone the option, then they would never have the option to donate to your cause. They would never have the option to pay you what they think your art is worth. You would never have the option to actually, have those things come in, and so that's really what it's about. It's about being able to have the option in order for you to do it. And I think that is awesome. Anytime I see people, supporting people in that way. Okay, so Even I'm learning a little bit about it, and now I want to tell you guys my experience. So I went to go sign up for Even. Okay, when you come here and you go to 4 artists on their website, they have different artists up. that they've already been, you know, working with and putting their music up and everything like that. And I was curious. I was like, you know, hey, if I want to get on the platform, you know, what do I got to do? I definitely don't have as many followers or, you know, views as LaRussell, and definitely don't have as many as Curtis King. But I'm thinking about it from just the aspect of, hey, I'm an artist, or, you know, I'm a producer. And I see Even as something that could be beneficial. I'm about to put my first project out. What do I need to do if I want to put my first project out? Or even you, like if you're looking at it and saying this could be beneficial to me, you know, what do I need to do and able to be able to put it out? You know, and I was sparked by this conversation. I was sparked by seeing Curtis King's success, seeing that paired with LaRussell, hearing them talk about streaming and the fact that Curtis took his streams down from Spotify, and hearing their conversation that they had together with their interview, but also watching the DJ Payne interview with Curtis King recently as well. And just the thought just came to me. I said, what is Even? Like, I've heard it too many times to not actually go to it and check it out. You know what I'm saying? I was very, very interested in finding out, you know, just what it is. So after I went through and went to even.com and started looking at, you know, what do I need to do? I signed up, I put my name and I put everything in there, and, you know, all of this and that, you know, everything that was done. The next step that I'm currently on is they put me to be verified. Your account is being verified. Our team will review your account information. You will receive an email when your account has been verified. Tag us on the Instagram story or Twitter to let your fans know you are joining Even. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out, artists@even.biz. So there's a process. It's definitely not like you want to sign up and so you just get in how you fit in. There is a process to being a part of that platform, and they set the rules even still. So I don't know if that means that I'm going to get an email back that says, oh, unfortunately, you know, maybe I'll get an email back that says, unfortunately, you don't quite reach the criteria for our program, for our platform. We are in beta. We are still in beta. And so since we're still in beta, you know, we're looking for different kind of artists to, you know, more established artists, who knows? And so that just becomes another one of those places. If that is the case, Bandcamp is still out, and Bandcamp is another platform that allows you to set your price, let your fans set their price, but they have their own transaction fees, and they have their own, you know, setup and flavor. I feel like Even is like the modern Bandcamp, or like Even is the Bandcamp for like more current artists. You know, I feel like maybe that's the case. Maybe I'm speaking ill. Maybe I'm speaking out of line by saying that. If I am, forgive me. But when I think of it, I feel like Bandcamp's been around for a really long time, letting artists do what they do on their platform. And Even is something that's new and just a little different than from what Bandcamp is and what Bandcamp is doing. But I can tell you one thing. If you were to go to, oh snaps, oh man, I don't know, it might not be up there. Oh snaps. They might have closed my stuff down. It was up there for a long time. Oh, it's still there. Here y'all go. I'll show y'all something real quick. This is my Chris Reed Bandcamp. It's still there. Whatever day this was when I signed up, this was the first and last day that I did anything to this. Okay. I put the cover art up. I sent it to a few people. Should be free. I don't think it's up for sale. Released on February 1st, 2013. We are talking 10 years ago. And with 10 years ago, that release of that, man, I don't even think I can play it because technically it's released. If I play it, they might actually say like it's copywritten. I don't want to get a strike on YouTube or anything like that. But this was one of my early like beat tape releases. And let me see if I have anything else there. I don't have anything else there. That's it. Just that one there. But it's still there. It's still around. But like I said, I feel like it's been around for a long time. So I feel like even might be something, this might be something a little different. This as well, this project right here called Freedom Summer. Freedom Summer, you can buy it for $5. This is a project that I produced completely by myself. In terms of the production on the project, with the artist Brian James. Every track was produced by me in Reason, and had a lot of fun, you know, creating the track and everything like that. And I just wonder if we did a re-release on like Even or something like that, if that would be beneficial, and if that would, you know, if we could do something with that. One thing I will say is, like I said before about, I keep clicking this. Like I said before about Marketplace and about that store that you have, this being able to have this up there only does us so good as much as we market it, as much as we advertise it, as much as we get the word out, as much as our Twitter, our YouTube, our Facebook, our Instagram, our TikTok, as much as that's popping, that's going to send people to this. It's not the same as being in the marketplace. If you can find your way into the marketplace, if you can find your way to be on the same playlist, you can easily become one of those artists or one of those producers that are garnering 1 million plays a month, 1 million monthly listeners. A producer I was just looking at the other day has 500,000, 500,000 monthly listeners. And, you know, all they're doing is putting up beat tapes, chill music and things of that nature. So it's not to say that it's not doable. It's definitely doable. But even with it's the same thing. It's not enough for you to just be on the platform and offer something. I mean, you could make a website and put a PayPal link, and as long as you pay the percentage from PayPal, then you can do that, and you can send them a download link and they send you their PayPal dollars or Cash App or whatever, however you want to do it. It's the same thing that you do it. It's just another platform for it to be done. It's another marketplace, another store that they have created. They have created their own streaming store, their own paywall that you can be a part of, that you can have that real estate there for. You have the name. As it grows and more artists begin to use Even, you know, aside from Ransom, aside from La Russell, but more artists begin to use it, then it becomes the place for you to be. It becomes a place for you to do this, for you to put your music on there rather than for you to put your music on a streaming service or any other place. So, you know, here are some of the Dame Dollar recently put something up, looks like. And I guess the other conversation, I guess, would have to be the difference between an independent artist and an artist that's on a label, and how this is beneficial for independent artists. You know, nonetheless, it's definitely a place for people who would consider themselves to be independent. I don't currently see anybody on this list that is a major label artist or anything like that. I did not know that Omarion, he's one of my favorite artists, you know, one of my favorite R&B artists for sure. Did not know that he had an album released here on this as well. And as you can see, as time goes on, look, here's exclusive content. Here's some things where the access has been closed and you can no longer get it from Even. But I'm sure if we went to go look up this full circle from Omarion, we would probably be able to find it where we could stream it or, you know, listen to it on YouTube or, you know, something of that nature. Let me see. It's on YouTube for sure. So you could go listen to it on YouTube. It's up on YouTube for sure. But the overall idea, the overall concept, like we said, being that you can create this platform and you can use this platform in order to create, opportunities for you to release your music and put your music out there. All right. So let's check out the facts section of Even and get a little more information. All right, so it says, what is Even? Even is more than just a platform. Of course, you can read this. It's a community that thrives on the direct connection between artists and their fans. It revolutionizes the way fans can support their favorite artists and how artists can give back to their most loyal fans. When you purchase a release on Even, you're not just buying music, you're gaining early access to an artist's creative work. This can include their latest music, exclusive content, first dibs on tour tickets, merchandise, and much more. It's a first-class experience for fans, offering more than the typical streaming or purchase options available elsewhere. For artists, Even is an empowering platform that enables them to build a deeper connection with their core fans. It's a space where artists can share their work directly, providing fans with unique experiences while receiving better compensation for their creativity. How does Even work? Even operates with the aim of fostering a direct and rewarding relationship between artists and fans. Here's a step-by-step guide to how it works. Explore the catalog, purchase releases, enjoy exclusive benefits. You get the idea. How do I listen to a release on Even? Log into your account, navigate to my library, choose your release. Now this goes with what I saw 803 MGTV was asking, which is you have to be on this new platform. Yes, you have to have a login and a sign up for this platform. Now, who does that benefit? And how does that benefit the artist releasing their music? Well, it benefits you. It also benefits Even, because if you have to log in and sign up, then that's a name, possibly address, phone number. That's data. That's an email address. But from what I've understood and what I've heard is that Even shares that email address with you. Even shares that data with you. Right? So if Even shares that data with you, and I believe what I have up is for fans. Let's go for artists. And let me see, I'm gonna go to data. Let me see, I gotta have a data word in here. Let me see this real quick. How do artists benefit from releasing on Even? The future of music is direct to fan. Even prepares artists and teams with all the tools and resources to make their music available to their fans and take ownership of that relationship. On Even, artists set their price, quantity, and access, get paid instantly after each sale, own and export their data with a click. So that means you're getting access to that data, that precious data, that if you did the equivalent of those streams that we talked about when we looked at the equivalent of what it takes for you to get this streams, 42 million. Let's just assume, assuming that instead of the 42 million, let's just assume that a percent of that 42 million, was just like one person, right? So let's just say 420,000, right? Let's say that's the number that we want to say, just cause, you know what I'm saying? 1%, 420,000. 420,000 people streamed your music, and you don't get not one email address. You don't get not one name. You don't even know the name of the people streaming it. For all you know, it could be a stream farm somewhere with a bunch of phones that's just playing your music. You don't know from what region they were listening necessarily sometimes with some of the platforms. You just are losing out on a lot of that data. So even I think that also becomes another thing that is the benefit of doing it on this platform. The only drawback to it, when I think about it, is, like I said, it's fairly new. And so even might also be relying on you to have your own fandom. And if you are an artist and you have fans or you have people that support you, I'm assuming by the time you get to the point where you want to release a project on Even, that you already have a database of emails. It would only be right that that would be the case. It would only be right that that would be the situation, that you have some kind of rapport with the people that listen to your music, watch your live streams, watch your YouTube channel, watch your Instagrams, your TikToks, the people that are there trying to communicate with you. I can't tell you how many times people have reached out to me on Instagram, because I definitely welcome it, at Chris Reed Beats on Instagram and pretty much anywhere else that you can go. But they reach out to me direct message. So it's like, okay, boom, I see you. They say, hey, I was just watching your live stream. I had a question, or just wanted to tell you thank you for the information, or hey, is there a way I can like book a one-on-one Zoom session with you? Yes, there is a way that you can book a one-on-one Zoom session with me. Just go to my website, chrisreedbeats.com. But I can't tell you how many times people have reached out like that, right? And I'm, again, humble, very small, little YouTuber trying to get my little YouTube popping. But even with my small success, I have seen people. Oh no. Oh, what's happening? Oh no. Oh no. I've been exposed. No, it's still playing. I have been exposed. Come on, what you doing? What is you doing, Windows Media Player? I don't want you to play that. Windows Media Player just exposed your boy for his terrible singing. He said, I just, Destructo, do not sample that. Do not sample that, Destructo. I have copyright protection on that. I already sent it into to copyright.gov. You cannot sample that, okay? They're gonna strike you. They're gonna send the SWAT team to you, okay? Do not sample that, all right? Moving on. I think it's a catch-22. I think it could go either way. If the platform is popular enough for you to acquire brand new listeners, then of course you would get brand new data. You would get brand new emails, names, you know, all of that stuff that we were talking about, and that would be beneficial to you. But if you're somebody that you've already been doing this, you've already been collecting emails, you've already been meeting with your fans and talking to your fans, you already have a Discord, you already have all of these different ways that people can get in contact with you, then I'm assuming you should already have some of that data. So while it is a benefit to using the platform, it's also something where it's like, this could easily get bought out. I'll move straight to the hot take and say, I think Even as a platform can easily be bought out by one of those larger streaming platforms, or just by some other music entity that wants to take advantage of the model that's being built. And if that happens, then of course, because now you have the bigger name, bigger branding, bigger marketing, things are just totally different, okay? Everything that I've seen with Even as a brand, as a platform, as a website, like the YouTube, the Instagram, in terms of like the amounts of followers from just Even, is not on par with who they are competing with. It's a great platform for artists in that it sets up that store for you. It does that middleman work. It's still a middleman, but it does that work for you. Like I said, you could set up a website where you can offer tour tickets, where it links to your, tickets.com page or your Eventbrite. You can set up merchandising on your own website. You can set up a release, a pay what you want release on your own website. It's a lot of different things that you could do on your own website, or you go through Even, that already has the marketplace set up for you, that already has done a lot of the heavy lifting and the hard work. You could already just go to something like that and just have that already done for you. That becomes the difference maker. That becomes the draw of that platform, of this platform, is the fact that they already have everything in place. Oh, you have your release, boom, just click right here, upload, same way you would on BeatStar, same way you would on DistroKid, upload right there. Okay, you want to set this up right there. It's already just done for you. It's just right there in your face, right? And and it's just done for you. Let's look at some more of the facts. Is Even a streaming platform? While Even does offer features commonly associated with streaming platforms, such as an audio streamer and video player, it's more accurate to describe Even as a direct-to-fan music platform. Our primary mission is to foster a closer connection between artists and their core fans. So it's not meant to, as I said before, it's not meant to replace Spotify, not meant to replace iTunes, not meant to replace Tidal or anything of that nature. It's meant to, as they say, foster the relationship between fan and artist, to actually create that link, that tie between those two. Do I have to be an independent artist to release on Even? Even is open to both signed and independent artists, so either one can use it. But I think you would gather to say who's going to use it more, who's going to benefit from it more. Independent artists, independent folk are most likely going to use it more and benefit from it more. Can artists offer more than just music? Of course they can. How does Even help artists promote their release? Okay, that's a good question. Let's see what they say. I clicked the wrong button. Hold on. How does Even help artists promote their release? Even supports artists with promotional strategies, including social media marketing and content creation. Can artists see who their fans are on our Even? Yes, artists gain access to comprehensive fan data, enabling them to engage directly and tailor their marketing efforts effectively. Merchandising production. Even offers merchandise production services. Okay, so apparel, CDs, cassettes, and vinyl. Like I said, that is what the benefit is going to be. The fact that they already have some of this stuff in place, the fact that they already have it in place for you. It's like if you went and set all that stuff up yourself, and then you created a service where you would do that for other artists, and then they pay you for it. Because I didn't get to that part, but it's in here. It's let me see that. Here it is right here, because this was the big question for me. Because I'm like, okay, listen, altruism and what's the other word I'm looking for? Just like the idea of people just helping other people out. Philanthropy. I don't think this is a philanthropist. This is not like a philanthropist, what's the word I'm looking for? This is not a philanthropy, activity. You know what I'm saying? It's a business. It's a website. It's a platform. It's a business. So the question is, we talked about how artists get paid. Artists get paid directly. You don't have to wait on the streaming service to pay you. You don't have to wait on DistroKid to pay you. You get paid directly. You make money. You sell your album. You get that album. You get that money right away. That's great. How do y'all make money? How does Even pay for their how does Even pay for their servers? How does Even pay for the service, to even be able to be up, the domain name? Like, how do y'all pay for y'all people that y'all hiring? What are y'all doing? How does that work? Okay, so let's check it out. So it says, how much does Even cost? That is the question. Even is completely free for both artists and fans to join and use. We believe in empowering artists and providing maximum value to fans. When a sale occurs, Even takes a 20% revenue share from the initial transaction. This revenue share covers transaction fees, which can vary based on region. Okay, did y'all hear that? Did y'all see that? Did y'all see that? It's not free. It's not altruism. It's not philanthropy. It's a business. So they want 20%. So you make what you make, they want 20%. Hold on just 1 second. Think about that. We're gonna take a break. We're gonna take a break real quick. All right, y'all. Okay, I'm back. Okay, so listen. Even sounds like, oh, wow, my camera, for real? That's how you're gonna do me? My camera just stopped working. I guess I'll just continue what I was saying. Even sounds like a really great platform. Sounds like it could be very beneficial to a lot of people. I do want to look at that. I do want to look at that trade-off, that the situation in terms of they are asking for 20%. Okay, they're asking for 20%. So if we look at, just like we looked at earlier, if we looked at those numbers that they said, I'm curious as if we're saying before or after, but that still comes into play. Okay, revenue is usually a word that they use when they say after expenses, after everything, that's what you make. Okay, so I'm assuming that that's what that means. So if we have $148,000, I don't know if I put that number in there right, but I'm gonna go to my calculator. Okay, so we got $148, $14,000, that's 148, that's 148,000. Okay, and we're trying to figure out, dang, I got my wife here with me. She the math major. We're trying to figure out what is that number plus 20% of the number of X, right? We want to know what X is, the higher number minus the 20% of the 148. How do we do that? How we do that? Because you can't take 148,000 and do 20%. Let's just do that real quick. We're gonna just take that number. We're gonna say that that's how much he made off the sales, and we're gonna times that by 20%, okay? Because we want to see 20% of that number. 20% of that number is $29,000, which means if we subtract that from the 148, let me see, that's 14,000. 148, let me see, is that the number? 14,000, one more zero. So we subtract that from there. If that's how much he made, from the sales, 148,000, let's say that's how much he made, and then he had to pay even what even had to get paid, which is $30,000. So you pay even $30,000 and you end up with $118,000. Now I think in the equivalence of things, I think you're still winning. I think you're still winning. If you're making $118,000 and you had to pay them $30,000, I think you're still winning. Okay, I think you're still winning. I think. Let me see, if we do $200,000, so let's say he made actually $200,000. That's 20, that's 200,000, and we times that by 20%. Okay, that puts us at 40,000, which brings us back down to 160. So it's somewhere in that range of what he actually made. So somewhere in that range, because that's what you pay. Now, I don't personally feel like, I feel like La Russell may have had some good business, and some other artists may have had some good business too, whereas that fee gets a little massaged or even waived because you're an early user of the platform. Doesn't that make sense? That would make sense to me. You're an early adopter of the platform, you're an early user of the platform, therefore we're going to waive or massage that 20% fee that we said we was going to charge per transaction, which is higher than cell phone, which is higher than credit card charges, higher than PayPal charges, higher than, you know, if you had set up your own, you know, website, how much you would pay. I don't think you would pay $30,000 to $40,000 to set that up. I don't know if you would, or I don't think that you would, but that would be the numbers. That would be the numbers. Okay. Now you also would then have to say, what is the verses of that on Spotify? What if I did get the 42 million? What if I did get the 42 million streams? What if I really put the hard work in and I got the 42 million streams, and then I just had to, and then I got paid by Spotify, right? Like we understand that. No. Yeah, that's what we're saying. We're saying in order to make $148,000, you need 42 million streams. So let's just say I got 42 million streams in a year. I want my $148,000. How much of Spotify, how much of that does Spotify get? Do they get 20%? Do they get 10%? I don't even know what to be honest with you, I don't know what the process is of putting your money, of putting your music on Spotify. I know that part of it is you got to go through a distributor. You got to go through somebody like DistroKid. You got to go through them, right? You go through them. They put your stuff on iTunes. They put your stuff on Spotify. And I know that you got to pay DistroKid a yearly subscription. Like you got to pay them a fee, right? I also heard from a podcast that once you get past a certain number, they do start to charge you. They do. It's like a bandwidth thing. It's like your bandwidth is higher than other artists, so therefore, you know, the payout is different, right? But now I'm curious to figure that out. I'm curious to figure out if I got the 42 million, which might be tough to do, but if I got the 42 million streams, do I keep all 148,000? Do I just pay my DistroKid fee? Is there another fee from Spotify where they say, hold on, homie, 42 million streams, that was a lot of bandwidth that came through from people trying to access your music. We got to give you this bandwidth premium price. And they somehow still end up getting equivalent to what Even would be getting, somewhere in the range of $30,000 to $45,000, because they're getting 20% off of every transaction. 20% off of every transaction. Somebody buy your album for $100. How much are they getting, Tasia? Man, our math is bad. If somebody buy your, it's $20. It's $20. Man, my math was bad, bro. Listen, don't come for me, y'all. Because I was thinking like $25. Like, okay, if it's 25%, somebody buy your album for $100, they want $25. So it's $20. Someone buys your album for $100, they get a 20% transaction fee of 20%, and that means from that $100 they can get $20, and you keep the 80. That's what that would mean. So you do that every time you get a transaction. Every time you get a transaction, that is what's happening. You're getting that, you're paying that as a fee to the platform. That's all I'm going to say about this platform. I think that it's a great platform. You get to buy the art from the artist. I think there's a lot that could be said. about it. I think you put the numbers to the numbers. I think you really have to take a second to say, okay, if I put my next project out and I think I can make $150,000, do I want to give $20,000 to $35,000 to this company in order to be able to use the service, or do I want to find the way? It's like everything that we do, or everything that is being done, is trying its hardest to bring it closer and closer and closer back to the artists actually pay what they're supposed to get paid without the middleman. But there still seems to be another marketplace. There still seems to be another middle connecting branch. There still seems to be another chain that's connecting between the fan and the artist. It's close to direct to fan, but it's not quite there. And it's not magic, guys. It's not magic. It's not magic. It's not saying that you're making more than what other streaming platforms is making. It's saying your fans are willing to pay you up front. So they're paying you more, and that's why you're making more. Like these equivalents, that's why you're making more. And I guess you would say, okay, I would rather give my money directly to La Russell and then have to pay, he has to pay this 20% per transaction fee, than me give it to Spotify, who, when they look at the numbers, they're divvying it up. They're divvying we got to get to that too. The question is, what is a stream worth? What is a stream worth? Tasia, everybody, welcome my wife to the stream. Tasia, welcome to the stream. Okay, hold on. Let me make sure your mic is on, and then I got to switch my mic out.
Oh, hey everyone. Going. What's up, Ivan? Welcome.
Check, check, check. Y'all can hear me from over there. Hold on, I got my microphone. Tasia, the question is this, and I understand this is late night. This is late night. Hold on, we're gonna run the banner one more time. So Spotify would pay approximately $192,000 for 42,000 streams. That's if you make 1,000 out of every stream. I don't know how Spotify actually works on Hey, I want you to look up, if you can, I want you to look up if Spotify charges. I don't even know how to ask the question. How much Spotify charges artists? How do you get money? How do you get money from Spotify? Okay, y'all. I wanted to make sure my microphone situation is set up. I invite my microphone to the show. That's good. Check, check, check. Okay, Tasia, say something.
Hey, check, check.
Okay, let's stop this music. Let's turn this music down, son. Here we go. Put that music down there. Okay, now let me just double check. Okay, Tasia, say something one more time. I want to double check, make sure everything sounds good.
All right. How's the mic sounding?
It's good. All right, babe. Energy. You know what I'm saying? Excitement. We just gonna have this conversation. The conversation really becomes, how much is a stream worth? Now, I want us to just like really think about it from an analytical perspective. Okay? I want us to think about it from the perspective of how people are listening to the music and why your music is worth anything. Okay? Do you understand my question, Tasia?
Yeah, I guess you're trying to say, or you're asking essentially how does the money essentially get split up? Like, let's say you get your 1,000,000 streams. From what I've seen, 1,000,000 streams on Spotify equals about $4,000, right?
Okay.
So what you're saying is how then from the 4,000, that you're essentially owed from Spotify, how do you get that money, or does Spotify charge you to take out that money?
Well,
is that what you're saying?
That is one of the questions.
Okay.
That's one of the questions. That question is more so to decide or to figure out in this equation with La Russell, if he was able to do the full, if he was able to do the full stream and get 42 million streams, on whatever platform, right, would he get that $148,000 that he made from the sales that he did on Even? Because it says streaming equivalent is 42 million. So that's one question. One question is, if he was able to get the 42 million, does he receive the $148,000, or does Spotify have some other kind of fee structure, or something else like that? Real quick, Professor Pat says, can you make a video on how to find missing audio files in Reason Studios? No one is covering this topic on YouTube. Of course I can. Of course I can. I will. Of course I can, and of course I will. But the other question is more of a theoretical question. Just literally like between me and you, just as a theoretical question, how much is a stream worth? Like just a theoretical like debate. Like when you talk about a stream, you listen to music on streaming, right?
Yeah.
Okay. You pay for a streaming service.
I do. Yes.
Okay. Which subscription service do you pay for?
Apple Music.
Okay, so you pay for Apple Music.
Yes.
Right? Hold on, I'm trying to put this up. So you pay for Apple Music. How much you pay for Apple Music?
Listen, I can neither confirm or deny.
Okay.
I may or may not have the student plan still. I'm a student of
You're
life.
You're a student.
So.
You're a student.
There we go.
Yes.
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 I pay about I pay $5.99 a month.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so you pay $5.99 a month. Do you think that's a fair price for being able to your music, like being able to listen to every song ever made in existence that's available on Apple Music?
Absolutely.
You feel like that's a fair price?
It's definitely more than a fair price.
More than fair.
Absolutely.
Okay, so that's a more than fair price, and you're paying it. Now, the question then becomes, like, how often do you think you're streaming?
Every day. Daily.
You feel like you get your $9.99 worth, or your $5.99?
Yeah, $5.99.
$4.99. You feel like you get worth. You feel like it's worth it.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, absolutely. I literally listen to music. I stream on that service, that platform every single day.
Okay, so every day you stream, every day you listen. So if you had to pay every time you went to listen to a song, like a jukebox, if you had to pay every time you listen to a song like a jukebox, how much would you be paying compared to like how much you actually listen to it? Would you go over your $4.99?
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, like what do you say, like a jukebox? Actually, I've seen some of those new jukeboxes. They're like, but anyway, they're what, like $1 or $2 per song. So yeah, absolutely. I mean, even if we took it to like 25 cents a song,
okay,
yeah, absolutely. 10 cents a song, yes, absolutely.
Okay.
I also listen to it multiple times a day. It's connected to my Shmeshmexa, I won't say it. But listen to the baby music on there too. It's all through that platform. So yeah, absolutely get my money's worth for sure.
So you're listening to it a lot. If you paid $0.25 per song, you would be over that $4.99 budget quickly.
Yes.
Quickly over the $4.99 budget. Mm-hmm. But how much is it now? So then theoretically thinking, are you paying what you should be paying for that, to listen to that?
Am I paying what I should be paying? I'll put the context of should as no, because I used to buy CDs. Okay. I'm not.
How much was the last CD that you bought?
The last CD that I purchased. This was a long time ago, but the last CD I purchased, I got from Target, and I think it was like $15.99 or $16.99. Let's say $15. Let's say $15.
I want to say the last one I bought was like Kingdom Come, Jay-Z, and it was $20.
Okay, so $20, $15 to $20. Okay.
Right. And I bought that album.
For one album.
Right. Right. One album, I could listen to it as long as that CD will play in a car or play on a computer or play on a compact, as long as the CD would play, I can listen to them songs as many times as I want. But that's just that one album. That's just that one song.
Right.
Right. So I'm trying to understand, like, was Jay-Z happy with that he made $20 from me? And if he could make, like La Russell, like when we looked at the La Russell stats, it said the average that was paid was $22. That's essentially what we're saying. The average somebody paid for the sale price of the album was about $22.
Right.
So if we're saying that's the average price that was paid, we're saying that was the average price that was paid, then yeah, that's like traditional album sales, right?
Yeah.
And they put this up as like very happy that they were able to make this money. Right. Some of it was from physical sales, some of it from online downloads, some of it from whatever else was offered. B House, shout out to you, by the way. But with that being said, like how much was that worth? Like, I think that's a successful project. I think that's a successful project. If you look at the amount of fans, it's only 6751 separate logins is essentially what that means. People have to sign up for the platform in order to be able to purchase or do anything with the platform, right? That's the number one. So 6751 total fans had to sign up and log in order to be able to purchase or listen to this album from La Russell when he was putting it out. That's what that number 6751 means. $22 per sale price. That's the total number. I think Jay-Z and them, in terms of album sales, they're selling a lot more than 7,000. Let's say generous 7,000. I think they definitely sell. I mean, the idea of platinum means 1 million records sold, right? So CDs, 1 million records, right? We could just do the math.
Yeah.
If I sell 1 million records for $20, that's $20 million, right?
Right.
Aside from taxes, fees, and everything else like that. And I would gladly give whoever set that up 20% in order for me to make it.
Yeah. Yeah. So
For me to make 800,000, for me to, I make that million. Did I do that number right? It's 20 million.
Yeah, you said 20.
If I sell 1 million, actual albums back in the day when they were selling albums, then that's $20 million. And I will gladly give somebody 20% of that 20 million, which would be $1 million?
No, 20% of 20 million. No. You're looking
Can't
at
do math, y'all.
4
million. Yeah, times 5. It's times 5. You make 16 million, like Destructo said. You would make 16 million. You gave up 20%, which would be 4 million, and you made $16 million to go platinum.
Right.
So that was like, I guess when you really think about it, like, bring back CD sales. Like, what are we talking about here?
Right. And you know what? I've seen that too. A lot of people they say that as well, but it's more so just the age right now. Like, we're in this digital age. I mean, when you go to places, like, where like I used to go, like Target, for example, right? They have a music section. It's pretty sad. It's pretty sad. It used to be filled with albums and CDs, but not anymore. So I definitely know that we are in this kind of digital age, and so now it's like, okay, we're not doing the traditional album sales, but how
Right.
can artists still make money? How can they use their songs that go viral, for example, right? Let's say, for example, on TikTok or something. Maybe they go viral on TikTok. The music goes viral on TikTok, and maybe they aren't able to make their money with the streams, but because of how viral it went, now they have some notoriety. Now they can get different deals and endorsements, right? So, at least from what I've been seeing in a lot of the artists that I follow, that's where a big part of their money comes from.
Hmm.
Being able to use it, leverage it to get deals, and then also like concerts too, right? Like going out,
Right.
performing, selling, tickets to their concerts. So we
Right.
definitely don't have those album sales anymore.
Right. This like yeah, that's all that you're talking about is money outside of album
Right,
sales.
right,
So then just talking like that, we can see that there's a obvious depreciation of cost of music,
right.
right? Now, I would venture to say like I don't know how many platinum selling artists I don't know how many platinum selling artists or albums that are out there, but I would venture to say that of the ones that are out there, I would venture to say that of the ones that are out there that was able to sell a million, sell a million records, that they were some people that were pretty well known. Like they were there. I mean, like the first person comes to the top of my head is like 50 Cent. You know what I'm saying? Get Rich or Die Trying, The Massacre. I mean, come on now. Artists that have sold a million records or more that got platinum plaques to say that they sold a million copies, and that's just like the first million. You get your platinum, you sold your first million. They're not. I'm just struggling to say it, guys. That's all. They're not independent artists. They're artists on labels. But even now, today, in the comparison of it, the way that the numbers stack up to each other, no one is reaching platinum status. No, in comparison to how streams count album sales, no one's reaching platinum status. In terms of that, and physical album sales are just down. And you could buy it from you can buy from iTunes, or you can buy from like Google Play Store. And a lot of that is just artists who sold 1 million albums. Give me a list. This is a short list, y'all. It's got to be more than that. Every album in history. There we go. Every album, and only 23 albums in history have sold 1 million copies in a single week. Okay, in a single week. Okay. The Bodyguard original soundtrack sold 1 million copies in the week ending January 3rd. Double Live by Garth Brooks sold 1 million in the first week of the release. Backstreet Boys, they got 1 million, 1.1 in the first week. NSYNC, 2 million in the first week. Okay, so now we gotta really put some respect on this. It's really starting to come. It's starting to come to mind. It's starting to make sense. I'm starting to see why people who are streaming, putting their music on streaming services and do not have the luxury of selling albums, and albums are not selling how they used to sell. I'm starting to see why it's a real problem, because NSYNC selling 2.4 million albums, no strings attached by NSYNC, no strings attached, album price. You could get it from Amazon. Let's just say we did it by today's standards. Mm-hmm. By today's standards, it's $12. We know that it was more than that, right? It was more than that back then. So we're talking about $2.4 million at $12 a hit, which is $24 million essentially without the 0.4. $24 million. $24 million is crazy. Wait. For the first week. Hold on. No strings attached. Albums sold to date. Oh my God. Oh, you gotta be killing me. No Strings Attached in 2000 became one of the fastest selling albums in history, selling more than 14 million copies and featuring a string of hits, including the chart topping It's Gonna Be Me. It's Gonna Be Me.
You know, I think my cousin had this album. I don't think we bought this one, but my cousin did. Mm-hmm.
This
That's
is
crazy.
wild. Because when you really think about it, like in terms of like what they're talking about today, like an album sale is like so many streams, it just doesn't even, it's nowhere near it. Right. It's nowhere near it. And that was people having to go to a store or go somewhere and purchase an album. But they ain't alone. It ain't just NSYNC. Okay. We are talking about a totally different league of money being made and of music being like, this is totally, nobody could bat an eye. If people was getting paid what streamers are getting paid now, then I would see why people would be upset. I would see why people would be upset. First week, I'm supposed to make $24 million. Now, keep in mind, of course, we understand that labels are involved. They said labels make billions of dollars. This is not no small money. We understand labels are involved. And so that means, of course, NSYNC is not going to see $24 million because they made $24 million in the first week. They're not independent. They're under a label. They got money to recoup. They got studio time to pay for. They got tour buses to pay for. It's a whole bunch of other stuff that goes into that racket of that. But just the fact that the revenue got up to that number. First week, 2.4 million sold. And throughout the lifetime, 14 million albums sold. Oops, I Did It Again, 1.3 million copies first week. Eminem Marshall Mathers LP, 1.7 million first week. Chocolate Starfish by Limp Bizkit, 1 million first week. Okay, Black and Blue, Backstreet Boys, 1.5 million. You mean to tell me Backstreet Boys is on this list more than once? More than once, Backstreet Boys sold 1 million albums. Let me stop getting so loud before I wake up my baby. But we talking about Backstreet Boys is on this album more than once for selling 1 million copies, more than 1 million copies in the first week. We're not talking about throughout the entire thing. We're talking about in the first week. One by the Beatles, 1.2 copies in the first week. It says 6 weeks after its release. Let me see this. What is it talking about? Okay, so this one wasn't the first week. Let me see. I might have been saying it. First week, that's the first week. That's the first week. Why they bring them up then? The Beatles, it says after 6 weeks after its release. Then why are y'all on this list? Y'all just feel bad for the Beatles. They just got to put them on the list.
Goodbye.
It says, okay, this is a list of the people that made 1 million in the first week in a single week. Why are they on the list? It says they made it. It says sold 1.2 million copies in the week ending December 24, 2000. 6 weeks after its release. It's not in the first week. Why y'all on this list? NSYNC is on the list more than once. Are you kidding me? This is what I'm talking about. NSYNC is on this list more than once, just like Backstreet Boys. 1.8 million in the first week after its release. In the first week, not 6 weeks. In the first week after its release. Eminem Show, 1.3 copies first week. Remember, albums and CDs during this time, is the average gotta be, it's definitely more than $9.99. It's more than $9.99. No, not 6 times. It didn't sell 1 million copies 6 times. It said 6 weeks. All right. Let's keep going. Hold on.
Oh
Okay.
God.
Nora Jones, 1 million.
That was my. Oh my gosh, my dad loved that album. Side note, he played that album till it got scratches on it and played it and it would get skipped.
Hold on. Another side note. I heard the door say motion detected at the door, and then she got up and went to the door and got something from the door. So hold on. What you get up to go get from the door?
DoorDash.
Oh, you got us some DoorDash.
Yes.
Us.
Yes.
You got us some DoorDash. Yes. Oh, where my DoorDash?
It's in the table. It's on the table.
Okay, yours is on the table too?
Yes.
Okay, so that's for after the stream, y'all. Hey,
I
was trying to make sure because I definitely heard her get up and leave and heard her come back, and I wasn't sure if she came back munching or not. You know what I'm saying? This is mind blowing. I am learning. I feel like I'm learning something new that I shouldn't be learning new. This should not be new. Usher Confessions, 1 million. I knew Massacre was on this list. But if Massacre's on this list, then that means Kanye West's Graduation is on this list too, because they were going head to head. And I know Kanye West sold more copies than 50 Cent. So I know he got to be on this list too. But Usher Confessions, 1 million in the first week. 50 Cent, 1.1 million first week. Carter Lil Wayne, 1 million copies in the first week. Taylor Swift, 1 million copies in the, let me see, does that say, what did it say? First week. Okay, Lady Gaga, 1.1 million in the first week. Read by Taylor Swift, 1.2 million. Taylor Swift is on the list more than once. She got 1.2 million copies in the first week after its release. And this was released in October 27, 2014. But now I saw something recently. You know, Taylor Swift had some drama, right? Tasia. You know, she had some drama, Beehas. Huh?
With the ticket sales?
Well, okay, she had some drama with her something with her contract and stuff, where they was basically like, we're not releasing the music to you, we're not releasing the masters to you, like that music is ours and we're not giving it back to you. So she went and re-sung, right? She went and recreated all of the music, right, of one of these albums. Hold on.
Oh, I did hear that.
And she re-released it. So I'm just pointing that out because right here it says she already made in 2014. She already made, let's see what she make on this one. She made 1.2 million copies sold in the first week in 2014. And then she re-released it. Okay. Cause I remember it was like a big thing of how much money she made. It was crazy. It was like, oh, we need to redo this too.
Yeah, I think I heard someone else did that. Was it Kelly Clarkson or Jordan Sparks? Someone else also did that too.
So look right here. Red, Taylor's version. They even have it as Taylor's version. Just the re-recordings. Hold on, let me see here. I gotta go back. Released November 12th, 2021. It made $950,000. From CD, LP, digital download, and streaming. Speak Now, July 7th, 2023. Same thing, CD, LP, digital download, cassette, and streaming, 755,000. This is the re-release.
Right.
We already got this music.
Right.
We already been streaming this music. We already bought the album for years.
Fearless, maybe even decade, but long time.
This from Forbes, so I'll show y'all real quick from Forbes what Forbes is saying. Taylor Swift's re-recorded albums are huge successes, but they were, what is this advertisement? Move. Come on. But they were a real risk. Okay. Number one, Taylor dominates Billboard 200 chart for a second week with her latest album, Speak Now, which debuted at number one on the tally last frame with an impressive 716,000 equivalent units sold. People are still getting these numbers. People are still getting these numbers today. Okay. So people are getting these numbers. She re-released it essentially. Let's keep reading. I want to say it was like an independent release. I don't think it was under another label. Swift first announced her ambitious plan to re-record her 6 albums. Oh my gosh, she's gonna do all 6.
Good for her.
And they're literally, it's crazy because the fans are literally purchasing and streaming. They're doing it for her. Right. They're like doing it because they hear the story. The story is, oh no, you know, her label, or you know, the manager, whoever it was, it's a whole story behind it. Wouldn't release the music to her, wouldn't let her out of her deal, whatever the case is. So she said, I'm gonna re-sing all of the songs, recreate all of the songs, and re-release them. And it's like they're in support of her.
Right.
Talk about fans. Talk about even.
Looks like though it was released just with the via Republic Records.
Okay. He said, "Do I know that she's a billionaire?" I mean, hey, listen. I know that the album sales was crazy. I know that her album sales are crazy. I know that her tour sales are crazy. You know what I'm saying? So I understand that it's there. I guess not. I guess I was sleeping on Taylor Swift for sure. Mm-hmm. But I did know about this story, this whole story of the fact of how they was playing her. They played her to the left, and people actually came and said, we're not going to let you play. The Swifties came and said, we're not going to let you play her like that. We're not going to let you play her like that. We finna do what we got to do to get this. Hey. Adele 25. Oh, look at Adele in 2015. 3,378,000 copies in the first week. Broke the record which previously was set by NSYNC. We was just looking at that from NSYNC up here in the top of the list. This is mind-blowing. This finna make me break something in this live stream. This is mind-blowing. Because you know why? Because okay, now I can't fix the thing. All right, here we go. The thing really did break. I said it was gonna break, and then I really broke it. Blow up. Do my bomb noise. Matter of fact, turn the bomb up. Hold on. That's not even loud enough for me. I gotta come in here and come to the explosion and turn the volume up. Turn that up. Turn that up. Almost, well, 3.3 million. 25 went on to sell 1.1 million copies in the second week. Okay, so she kept breaking the platinum sales. Oh man, I am sorry. I am sorry. I didn't know. I did not know. I'm putting some respect on her name today. That lady right there. This lady right here, I'm looking at on the screen. Her. I'm putting some respect on your name. So let's just.
Where's the sound effect?
Man, here you go. Let it go. Let it go. Let them go. Let all of them go. Let all the sound effects go. So we talking 3.3 million first week. 3.3 million first week. 1 million in the second week. So we can just add 1.1 million. So we have 4.4 million. Right? Mm-hmm. And then another 1.1. So now we have 5.5. Now we have 5.5 by the fifth week. So third and fourth week, you know, it kind of slowed down a little bit. But in its fifth week, it made another 1.1 million. That's crazy. Wow. So we talking about a record total of within like a month and a week, right? Within a month and a week, 5 million copies sold. It remains the only album in history. Look at this word right here, y'all. Look at this word. Hold on. Don't do me like that. Don't do me like that. Look at that word. Y'all see that word? It remains the only album in history to sell 1 million copies in at least 2 different weeks. I promise y'all, I did not think we would see a stat like that on this list. I had no clue. I didn't even know. I'm learning something today. Reputation, Taylor Swift, 1.2. Back in 2017. Midnight's Taylor Swift. Now, I was talking about NSYNC and Backstreet Boys having more than one listing on this list, and they got and she got like 4 so far, Taylor Swift. Which is yeah, here's another one, 1989, Taylor's version. So now they talking about the Taylor's version. See, I was just talking about this. This is in 2023. 1.6 million copies of albums sold. So not how much money they made, but copies of albums sold. The reason why I'm even bringing up this conversation, the reason why I'm even talking about it is because I'm looking at streams, and I'm looking at what streams mean and what streams are worth. And we're talking about these people are hitting these marks. They're hitting the platinum level marks repeatedly from old music, from re-recorded music. 1.6 million. I didn't see Drake's name on this at all.
Well,
because I'm sitting there looking, I'm waiting for it. I also didn't see Kanye, but I think they did that on purpose. They just didn't want to add him to the list. Because I'm telling you,
this was in a single week as well, so maybe they didn't meet that mark within the week.
Oh, well, because I know that total sales, like they went head to head. Kanye and 50 Cent went head to head, and it was like within the time frame, or it might not have been Massacre.
No, I was gonna say it wasn't.
It was Curtis.
It was Curtis.
It was
yeah,
Curtis. It was Curtis.
Yeah.
That's still amazing. That's still amazing. 50 Cent hitting that 1 million in 1 week. Yeah. And that's low-key like one of my favorite albums. The Massacre was crazy. For sure, like back-to-back, like back-to-back 50 Cent albums, fire. Yo, what about that DoorDash? What y'all order? Appetite is coming on strong. Please. What did you order?
Please.
What did you order? We can tell the people what you ordered.
Listen, the Popeyes sweet and spicy wings have me in a chokehold.
Oh my goodness, the Popeyes.
Send one up for me because I cannot be released from its grip. But yeah.
So in having this conversation and looking at these numbers, right? Because we're looking at La Russell. We're not trying to make comparisons because of those numbers with NSYNC, Backstreet Boys. We don't know how much they made from that when they made it. That's the thing we got to remember. We don't know how much they made from it when they made it. We know, looking at La Russell on Even, we know he made that 148,000. He made it for just shy of 7,000 different people, right? A 42 million streaming equivalent. I think an album sale according to streaming, it's like it says 1,500 on-demand audio and or video streams equals 10 track sales or 1 album sale. So 1,500 would be 1 sale, right? So 1,500 is 1 sale. So once you got to 150,000, come on, bad math. We're doing the math tonight. 1,500 on demand. They're already saying 42 million. So if you got 15 million compared to 1,500, is that a million X?
1,500, no.
1,500 is 15 million, a million X of 1,500.
No, because that's just 1,500.
So it's 15 billion. 15 billion is a million X of 1,500. You understand what I'm asking?
Not really. No.
Like in other words.
But what are you trying to? Just to,
I'm trying to
trying
see.
to show the magnitude.
I'm trying to see.
Essentially,
42 million streaming equivalent is what he made, right? So I'm trying to see if we said, did he hit platinum status? Platinum status is 1 million albums sold.
Yeah, I mean, I guess we have to look what is streaming equivalent.
No, that's what I just did. 1500 plays. 1500 plays equals one album. So let's say 1000 plays. 1000 plays. Let me see. How much would it have to be in order to go platinum? Okay, let's just do that. How many streams to go platinum? There we go. That's the question we want to ask. It is in the billions. Oh my God, I'm so upset. Yo, I am sick to my stomach a little bit. Like looking at these numbers and looking at this, I'm sick to my stomach. Knowing that in the first week, artists are going platinum. In the first week, artists are going platinum, or used to go platinum in the back in the day. They used to get 1 million album sales, talking about physical album, CDs, streaming, cassettes, whatever they're selling. They used to hit that million. And in order for that to translate to today, you need 1 billion streams. And if you put that into context, seemingly, in my mind, La Russell did the best with his project, with his platform. He made $148,000, and the equivalent of that is 42 million streams. And 42 million streams is not even close to platinum. It's not even touching it. So you just got to ask yourself, if he made that much and the equivalent is not even at 1 million streams, and we know that people have hit 1 million streams. We know that they have gone platinum. We're talking about 1 billion streams here, people. Wow. There are people able to hit 1 billion streams. The equivalent of how much money he made was 42 million. So if he got 42 million streams on Spotify, am I making sense? Mm-hmm. You understand what I'm saying? Like, yeah. It's kind of wild. It's kind of wild. 42 million in my eyes. If he actually got the 42 million streams on Spotify, Apple, whatever, I would be far above impressed. So then to say that's not even platinum, you still need, watch this, y'all. I'll put it to you like this. It's 42 million. Even if it was 420 million, it wouldn't even be halfway to 1 billion streams. That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
It takes 1 billion streams. The math ain't mathing is what it says. A platinum certification is awarded when a song or album reaches 1 million EAUs. Following the RAA's conversion rates, this translates to between 1.25 and 3.75 billion streams. Recent platinum certified albums include Purpose by Justin Bieber. The math is not mathing, it's not making sense. In terms of, that's what they're claiming, their count. So because that overall comes down to the question of, why is a stream worth anything at all? How do we pay for it? How do we account it? Let's look at some more numbers. You got 1 million people. 1 million people pay $9.99 a month. That's $10 million. Right?
Mm-hmm.
1 million people pay $10 a month. That's $10 million.
Okay.
So if those 1 million people go listen, they streaming songs. They have made Spotify, Instagram, whatever. They already made them $10 million just by 1 million people. Y'all know it's more than 1 million people in the world, right? It's like 8 billion in the world altogether. And that's the other thing too, like streaming is worldwide. It's not just America.
Right.
I'm really trying to figure out like why is a stream worth what it's worth? Because in my mind, like one of the things that they talk about is like advertising dollars. Like they say, oh, because they're able to push advertisements, then that's how people make money. So if iTunes has an advertisement or Spotify has an advertisement that comes up while you're listening to music, then the person that put that advertisement there had to pay iTunes, Spotify, especially YouTube. YouTube is the best example. They had to actually pay in order to get that played on the video, on the song, on the whatever. They had to pay that. And advertisement dollars can be all kinds of numbers. It could be all kinds of equivalents of numbers, right? Mm-hmm. Who knows how much it costs for you to advertise on any of these platforms, depending on what they're charging. If we say, hey, we know Taylor Swift just hit 1 billion streams. She just hit somewhere between 1 billion and 3 billion streams in order for her to get a certified platinum status of selling 1 million albums or more in 2023. So if that's the case, we know it's people, if not 1 billion people, there's someone on the platform 1 billion times. 1 billion times there's someone on the platform. So you have to pay. So this is how advertisement works. This is the eyeballs that are seeing this app. The eyeballs that are seeing this app equate to this number. So that means the advertisement, whoever it is, McDonald's, Coca-Cola, BMW, Mercedes-Benz, they are paying a certain number in order to get their ad to play in between that song or play in between the playlist or to have their little emblem or to have something on the app or whatever. They're paying for that. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Right? That makes sense. Mm-hmm. We got the standard, which is like just subscriptions. We already saw it's plenty of money if you're looking at it and you say 1 million people paying $10 a month is $10 million. That's $100 million in 10 months. Just from 1 million people. We know it's more than 1 million people in America. Right?
Right. I get you.
I'm just trying to understand. California's population alone is 39 million people. The numbers are getting astronomical. I'm not even going to try to do the math no more. But we're saying just California, every resident in California has a Opify account, right? Every California resident has an Opify account. 39 million. Each of them pay $10. Each of them pay $10 a month. Are you on the calculator? Running from my past, but I good, because I wasn't trying to figure this one out, y'all.
390 million. Almost $400 million.
Because if we round it to 40 million, we say, okay, it's 40 million people. They each pay 10 million. We looking at 400 million.
$10, but yeah.
I know, I'm just saying. Yeah. I'm just rounding up. 400 million. Mm-hmm. So we saying 400 million, listen, per month. 400 million per month. I don't even know if I feel like that's not right. I feel like that's 40 million people pay $10. Okay, 4,000 people pay 10. That's what I'm saying. Okay, it is just a multiple of 10. Okay, I'm tripping. Okay, $40 million pay $10. That's $400 million per month. In 10 months, 400 million becomes 4 billion? Is that the right math?
Yes.
So in a year, this is just for California. That should let you know right there. That should let you know, 'cause I'm looking at the populations for the rest of them. California's at 39 million. Texas is at 29 million. And New York is at 8 million? Hold on. Is New York that small?
It is pretty small.
Wait, New York is that small that California has 40 million people and New York only has 8?
Yeah.
All right, y'all.
You remember that we went to New York. Yeah, it is.
I'm just gonna blame. I'm gonna blame my ignorance on my hunger. I'm gonna blame my ignorance on my hunger. But I'm just saying, we looking at California. Just the residents of California, 40 million people. If they all had a Spotify account paying $10 a month, or iTunes account, or whatever, Apple Music account, paying $10 a month, that's $400 million per month. That's $4 billion in 10 months, right? I'll never do the rest of the months. I never do 12. I always just do 10 because that's my math. That's that many people in 10 months, right? 4 billion in 10 months. And that's just California.
Big stuff, big bucks there. Big bucks. Hey.
Big bucks. Okay, Tasia, one last thoughts on this before I play our theme music and we roll up out of here. What's our last thoughts?
I like this comment. BHOS said the hardest
BHOS.
Sorry, what's up, BHOS? The hardest part is uploading the album/song one time. Software on a server. You talked about that earlier. Things being on the server. They're not giving you a physical item, so that's why it doesn't pay to stream. Essentially, in the comparison with the streams versus the albums, yeah, I was thinking that too. Like with the album sales, like it's an actual like tangible item, right? You can take it with you, put it in your car, put it in your house, versus these streams where it's it lives on a cloud somewhere. You can listen to it, but it's not a physical thing, right?
Right.
Well, actually, what was that? Anyway, that's a side note, but yeah, I mean, essentially that could be what a, because earlier said like, oh, how much in comparison to albums and streams, right? Why does it take so many streams to kind of be equivalent to an album? And that could definitely, be one of the reasons why.
Facts. And 10 years from now, oh man, 10 years from now, who knows what it's going to look like. It's definitely one thing to think about the overall cost of streaming and the process for you to make what you should actually make for your art. Even seems to be a platform that helps. It seems to be a platform that helps you in creating that. It helps you in creating the opportunity for you to make money, but with a 20% per transaction cost, it's not completely fan to artists. It's not completely fan to artists, but it could be something that helps. Could be something that helps get you closer to there. So even seems like a very interesting platform. We've already seen some independent artists and just artists in general take advantage of it and be successful from it. Looking at the equivalent numbers, overall, how we feel about art has changed. At least for sure for hip hop, because Taylor Swift is still doing millions. She's still hitting platinum certification multiple times over. So I don't know. That one person cannot make up the crux of the entire music industry. It's too many artists and it's too many listeners for it to just be populated with this one thing. Beyonce wasn't on that list. So what are we saying about how we feel about our artists? Now we got to put the onus on the other end. We got to put the onus on the other end. And we got to look at us as listeners of artists that we appreciate. Are we doing our job? Is the listener doing their job and actually buying and listening and contributing to the success or the detriment of their favorite artists? Because it's very lopsided. We can't just not just on the side of an artist putting their song on Spotify and not getting from Spotify what they think they should get, but also from the fan. It really feels lopsided in looking at these numbers and looking at what's popping, what's happening. But I guess that's what the difference between the major and the minor leagues. I guess that's the difference between it, right? I guess that's the difference between it. Well, listen, y'all. I was chilling until she told me we had some DoorDash. Okay, I'm not gonna put it on. I'm not putting it on you. I promise I'm not putting it on you. But in general, the conversation was great in general. You know what I'm saying? We've been hanging out after hours on the live stream, just having a conversation about this platform even. And he said, nice waves. Hey, thank you, man. Appreciate that, Chris. Blame it on the DoorDash, you know what I'm saying? I've been working.
Someone put in the chat earlier too.
What they say, they was getting
happy birthday. Did you say?
Oh, happy birthday to me! Thank you.
Like, oh, when was it? Yesterday was his birthday.
I missed it. I'm sorry, I missed the chat, y'all. Yesterday was my birthday. Shout outs to me for my birthday. You feel me? You know what I'm saying? Yesterday was a birthday. I do want to put up and shout out these good folks. I wanted to make sure that this was a thing that I did for this show specifically, because I feel like this show is what really helps me. These people, I got hiccups and stuff. These people really help me to be able to get creative and think outside of the box of making content for Reason and making content for, doing tutorials and things of that nature. But shout out to y'all, man. Y'all good folks. I appreciate y'all. I also appreciate everybody that watches, but specifically to my channel members, I want to specifically shout you guys out. I appreciate you guys for joining the membership. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate y'all for sticking with your boy, having fun with me. I appreciate y'all for, you know what I'm saying, just coming through. I looked at my list tonight before I made this page. I looked at my list. Oh, happy birthday to you, Ivan. And our birthdays are kind of close. I looked at my list of people, and I said, man, I want to make sure that I shout these good folks out, man, and give y'all flowers, and just give y'all, you know what I'm saying, just give y'all that. You know what I'm saying? Put y'all name up there. And in other ways, I want to make sure to shout out the supporters and the channel members. Okay, the supporters and channel members. So once again, that's the McEastlands, Mr. Frosty, Beachu, Paul F, Chris Joshua, B Haas, Cal, I can't say your last name, but I see you, Mark Taylor, and DJ Dynamite Jammin' Wonder. Some people have been members for multiple years. Some members are fairly new, but I appreciate each and every one of y'all for supporting the channel, man. And with that being said, we're gonna play our main theme music as we say goodnight to you guys for this evening. Hold on, I want to add. I want to do it properly. Tasia, can you talk to the folk real quick and say something to them real quick for me?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, just, following Chris's sentiments. Thank you all so much for the support. It's always great that, he has this really awesome, supportive community where he can come and, talk with you all and kind of nerd out, and geek out and just have fun. He talks to me about it too, but listen, I I don't know a lot of the things that he says, especially when it gets into the program. A lot of stuff goes over my head, but I love that he has a place where he can, just come and, teach, but also learn from you all as well. So I really, really love that. Hey,
shout outs.
Chris,
look at that right there, Chris
Happy
Joshua.
Loopy. Hey,
dropping the super chat, man. Shout outs to you, big bro. Hey, appreciate that, man. Let me see some. Okay, cool. Let me just make sure. Hey, thank you, Chris Joshua, for the super chat, my brother. I appreciate that, man. Showing that support. Thank you so much, man. Yeah, Tasia, keep going. You doing a great job. Appreciate you. This is the producer. This is the producer of the show, guys. So, everything that you see, the concept, the topics and everything like that, you know what I'm saying? That's coming from Wifey. She hooked that part of it for the after, late night, after hours, you know what I'm saying? I cooked up the name and I was trying to think about what we could call it, after hours with Chris Reed. But nonetheless, shout outs to you, babe. And thank you, Chris. Yes, it is a blessing, man. It's definitely a blessing. We're blessed by it, man. I appreciate you. I appreciate you dropping that in there, man. Let me see. Who is this? Oh, yeah, that's it right there. Super chat. Okay, cool. So we got some stuff happening, y'all. You know what I'm saying? It'd be like I'll be trying to get my little stream to look right. You know what I'm saying? Thank you for letting him come out and play. And, that's that. He said, "Thank you for letting me come out and play." Thank you, wife.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, it don't happen unless wifey make it happen. You know what I'm saying? So we definitely gonna be trying to do these after hour sessions, right?
Yeah,
we're gonna be doing
absolutely.
these. What's our plan for getting these after hour sessions in?
Yeah, we gotta.
I'm putting you on the spot. You gotta be ready to go. Come on, what you doing?
Absolutely.
Producer?
Well, trying to do it at least once a week for sure. It's a lot to plan and get together, but I'm getting it together. We're getting it together. But yeah, definitely, would love to do it at least once a week. Just come on and chat, and also be here to support you and produce it and everything, and with all of you all as well. It's always a lot of fun. So definitely want to get this going on a weekly basis, at least once a week.
All right,
y'all hold me to that, okay?
At least once a week, we're gonna be able to get it in and come through for after hours. All right, y'all. So let me see real quick. I'm still setting this up, and you know what I'm saying, Chris Joshua's super chat is still up, so you know what I'm saying, we're just gonna let that roll. But yeah, because I did decide on having a theme song, so we're gonna play this theme song as well, you know what I'm saying, for our outro as we close out the show tonight. Meow 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 meow. Oh, I got it right here. I can just do it like that. Meow 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 meow. And like for real, like this conversation, this opportunity, like to be able to sit and talk about this stuff, like is really dope. Like this is a lot of fun. This is probably just about as much fun as it is doing my regular live stream where I'm making beats and stuff like that. But this part is a lot of fun as well. So I just want to say, I appreciate y'all for coming through and hanging out with us on After Hours with your boy Chris Reed. All right, and we're just gonna keep it going like that. Yeah, it's a little bit of R&B. It's a little bit of R&B with it. You know what I'm saying, man, we keep mentioning DoorDash, man. DoorDash need to be the sponsor, man. Wouldn't that be dope? We could put After Hours sponsored by DoorDash. Like, wouldn't that be dope? That would be dope, right? But you know what I'm saying, all things in all due time, man. All things in all due time. Okay, here's the beat. I was looking for the beat, and now I have the beat ready to go. Hey, so this is the question. Where were you tonight? You was here on After Hours with your boy Chris Reed, and I thank you so much for joining us. With that being said, this has been Chris and
Tay.
Oh my God. That's why I'm moving so they can see you now too.
And Tay.
Okay, this has been Chris
and Tay,
and we appreciate y'all for coming through to After Hours, man. Y'all have a good night. Peace. Where
You